Jet that crashed at San Francisco's airport on Saturday was going about 40 miles an hour slower than it should have been in the final seconds before impact. That's what the head of the National Transportation Safety Board said today. And tonight, we're getting a new look at the wreckage inside the plane. Asiana Airlines reports the pilot at the controls had never landed a Boeing 777 at the San Francisco airport. Officials say he had some 10,000 hours of experience flying other jets, but only 43 hours on this type.
It was a captain who was working on his initial operating experience in the 777. He was an experienced pilot and a prior captain, but he was working on getting his rating on the 777 and getting initial operating experience in the 777.
And investigators say the plane's tail hit the seawall, dragging debris for hundreds of feet down that runway. They tell us they found part of the tail section in San Francisco Bay. And some amateur video of passengers escaping down the emergency slides right after that crash. Officials say almost 200 people were hurt. 2 passengers died. Both were teenage girls from China headed to summer camp here in the United States. There was a big group of them. Tonight, investigators say one girl may have died after a rescue vehicle ran her over on the runway. Claudia Cowan is live at SFO this afternoon. I guess the investigators are saying they're still looking into that, right, Claudia?
That's exactly what they're saying, Shepard. You know, it's hard to imagine somebody surviving this plane crash only to be struck and killed by a responding emergency vehicle. But authorities are looking into that tonight because they say one of the victims' injuries were consistent not with being burned in a plane crash, but with being run over by a vehicle. We have obtained pictures of these 2 16-year-old girls from China. They are being remembered tonight as top students and close friends. Officials say one of the girls was ejected from the plane. The other was found outside the wreckage near the emergency slide. Federal investigators say airport surveillance video did not show definitively what happened to her, and the coroner has not yet determined a cause of death. Both these teenagers' parents are on their way here from China, and they will receive the autopsy results before they are made public. Shepard.
And Claudia, first responders with some incredible stories out of there.
Yeah, they spoke to reporters this morning and described how they encountered smoke and leaking jet fuel and some very dicey situation getting to the frantic passengers on board who were trapped in their seatbelts.
When we first got back there and saw these people, it was actually pretty clear back there. There was not a lot of smoke, there was not a lot of fire. But by the time we removed the final victim, the conditions were that the fire was banking down on us. We had heavy black smoke. So I feel very lucky and blessed that we were able to get those people out in that time.
225 first responders on scene there within minutes, and Shepard, a lot of credit is also being given to the well-trained crew there aboard Asiana Flight 214.
Claudia Cowan at SFO tonight. Claudia, thank you. We're also hearing dramatic details from some of the passengers who survived that crash. One mother says she managed to escape with her 4-year-old son, not down the emergency chute, but through a hole in the jet.
I had the time to walk out because the hole is very close to my seat. So I take my baby and just take my carry-on baggage, so walk out. When I see the picture with the fire, wow, it's horrible.
Another mother says her 8-year-old son was a lot braver than she.
He told me, Mom, we must go out, and he ran out of the plane and he jumped down first. Wow. And I come out. I'm so proud of him. He didn't cry, and I cry, and my son didn't cry.
And then there's the San Francisco police officer, Jim Cunningham. He ran into the wreckage of the plane without the protective equipment that a firefighter would have to help rescue people. Of course, he insists he's not a hero.
I just knew that those people were trapped in there and they needed help. I was just doing my job. Thank you.
He's a hero.
He's obviously a hero. Officer Cunningham didn't just rescue people. He says he also grabbed a few iPhones that passengers had left behind because he knew their families would be trying to contact them. Man, those first responders in San Francisco.